Hey guys, I'm Volin, and in today's video I will be fixing my data manager class because some export variables just don't get saved because of this specific line here. And I thought in the meantime, whilst I change this, I can also improve the code, because right now we have a lot of code that is appearing multiple times, and we can make this a lot more cleaner looking. So that is what we will be working on today. This script was first made in my first video of my save system in Godot 4 video. If you don't have this code yet, go to the description, there's a link to this video in which you can make this script, and then you can follow along with this video. But this script is also part of my Godot code snippets bundle. All my Ko-fi supporters get this bundle for free, and this bundle will always keep growing. You can also get it on itch.io. Right now the price is $3.10, but the more that this bundle grows, the higher the price will be. Right now what's included is my data manager script, the GitHub workflows, audio spectrum, and screenshot handler. So again, this bundle will keep growing. And if there are problems with the scripts, I will update them like I do in this video. But anyway, this part here, let's first fix the issue. So if you go to the top, we can see our get save data function. First of all, I want to change this, because if you look into our save data function itself, you can see there's a lot of code that just gets reused the entire time. So instead of using this code in every single function, we take this, I put this in here, in our get save data function. Now it will complain about the file object not existing. So inside of arguments, we add our file access. So the save data compressed and such, they will just pass the file access instance, and our save data function will do the rest. And whilst talking about save data functions, let's remove the get in front of this. And this will also return the error code instead of a dictionary at this moment, because it will start returning the errors. So let's remove the first return, and this get open error should go to the top of the file. Now inside of here we only have the store string that has an error because of this function that does not exist anymore. We just directly pass the data that we make inside of here. Now there is still this issue that I need to fix. This 4096, this also appears inside of this. Basically what this is, you should see this as bytes, so all 0 and 1s. And if it's equal, like the 4096 also appears inside of here and also appears inside of here. So we need a bitwise operator. And what this will basically do is check if this number also occurs in this and in this when comparing the bytes, if it's a 0 or 1 in that specific place. So what we'll do is we will put property usage and this inside of columns. We will check if the outcome is not a 0. And we don't need this value anymore. And we also don't need this value anymore, because they will always include this exact bitwise flag. And instead of in, we just use this bitwise operator. For more information about these bitwise operators, you can go to the DD script reference and search up bitwise. Here you can see there are a couple of things. So the bitwise AND, XOR, OR, it is kind of difficult to get into, but you should just see numbers as their bits, so 0 and 1. We will use the bitwise AND operator for this one. So basically it will check if the property usage number has the bits of this flag included. If yes, then we'll go to the next part. Also, private variables don't get saved. If you want to save private variables, you just remove this line. I will leave this in because that was part of the script. But now, how do we fix the save data function? First of all, let's remove this beginning, and we just add save data, and we pass the file access object like this. Now this will still have a complaint because not all code paths return a value, but our save data function returns a error if there is an error, or error file cannot open. So the only thing we need to do is return the value we get from save data, and that is basically all we need to do for the other functions as well. So we just do this, and we can remove the rest. So again, we copy this, we replace the first part by this, add a column, and we remove the rest. Again in here, exactly the same thing. So turn save data, column, and remove the rest. And this is all we need to do. So this is all our save stuff done. The code looks a lot more clean. We can also just put this everything on one line, and this should suffice. Now, a lot of people will probably say best code practices will be to add a variable, file access, add this code in here and pass this object. But yeah, I'll just do it like this. It's cleaner looking and we don't really need to touch this at all. Next up, the load data also could have some improvements. So we already passed the file access object, but when looking at this, we can still see that there is a lot of things, well, basically a lot of similar code everywhere. So how can we make this all shorter? First of all, the load data, this should also return an integer to return the error value if there is an error value. And when looking here, load data was called in here. So we take this piece of code, we put this on top, and if there was an error, we just put this at the end of the file. So we don't need this one anymore, and the only thing we need to do is change this by load data. Of course, this function will complain because it's expecting an integer as a return value. We just return load data. And that's all we need to do for this. And this will also clean up the code a fair bit. So I'll quickly do this for the other functions as well, the other load functions. And that is everything we need to do. So if I run this little test script and I save my data, I will get a txt file because this test script is basically just saving the data normally, not compressed, not encrypted and such. So if I go to my txt file, I can see the export variable gets saved, the test variable gets saved. And if I look in the data test, we can see there was a const, an export variable, normal variable, and a private variable. If I quickly go into insert mode, you can see it starts with an underscore, so it should not be saved. Only the ones that should be saved are being saved. And that's basically it. That's how we fix this script to actually include all the different types of export variables. Now, this was a short video and basically an addition of my first tutorial of the save system, but it was a change that was kind of needed. So everybody, thanks for watching, and a quick mention to my Ko-fi supporters. Thank you very much for supporting me. If you want to have access to this bundle, you can get it on is.io, or if you become a Ko-fi supporter, you have this for free, together with all my other things, my Discord bots, my Godot code snippets, the data manager for some reason is still separate as well, and also some Japanese studying stuff if you are interested in that. My GDE Gozen extension for video playback in Godot is also available here for free. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.